So from the thumbnail, you probably know, I passed my PhD candidacy exam. Let me tell you, the last month was the absolute worst. Lucky for you, I actually documented the whole process of me studying and what I did to prepare for this exam. FYI, for those who are not familiar with like grad school and that kind of stuff, this exam basically determines whether or not I can move forward to get my PhD. If I didn't pass, that means I would have no longer been a PhD student. So that would have been really tragic. But good thing I passed. So the exam itself, it's not a traditional exam. I have to write a proposal for a grant. It's a 3-hour oral exam. And it's awful because your girl hates answering questions. I'm just like, I don't like this. I prefer written exams to oral exams any day. From the very start, I already had panic attacks. I cannot tell you how many panic attacks I've had in the last month. I was crying for the last hour. I just got back edits for the proposal that I need to submit. There's a lot and I'm very overwhelmed and I just don't think I'll pass. It's hard. The PhD is super hard and I know I'm just putting pressure on myself. I know everyone wants me to do my best. Like, no one's trying to fail me or anything, but I just don't know if I could do it. I feel like I can be ready by test date. I know I can do it. I just don't know why I'm doubting myself right now. I mean, like, I think we all have those periods of doubt where we're just like, we can't do it. It's just too much. You're not blank enough. I know I keep on saying how you should think you're strong enough, you're smart enough, you're confident enough. And I do believe that sometimes. But there's still days where it's harder for me to like really believe that. Like, Sam, you can't do it. There's just gonna be hard times. And this is just an example of a hard day. And that's normal. Even with all my panic attacks, I was still kind of sure of myself that I would pass. Panic attacks, don't get me wrong, they're awful, but I still in the back of my mind knew I was going to pass. So this is the journey to passing my candidacy exam, because I know I'm gonna pass. As I get older and older, and I know this is something that both students and people who are working in the real world face, but like, you realize you have to make sacrifices sometimes and it sucks. Like, I really want to hang out with my friends and stuff. I know for the next 2 weeks I really need to crack down on getting work done. Like, I am taking breaks and I'm not just solely studying and working on this. It's not like my life revolves around this exam, but man, you have to make sacrifices sometimes. Usually on the weekends, you know, I'm out and about city biking or hanging out with a friend or going on a date. Alas, I gotta really focus and actually study and get work done. It sucks. I don't think there's a real way to combat that. There are gonna be periods of time where you have to do a little bit extra work. That's just part of life. And speaking of dates, the last 2 months, honestly, I had very limited social interaction. I just really had to focus on school and my exams. I thought I could balance going on dates and also like studying for my exam and all the million things that I have going on in my life, but I truly didn't have that time. I had plans to kind of go on a date, I suppose, or hang out with someone. I think I'm gonna have to cancel because it is almost 10 a.m. right now and I haven't gotten as much work done as I would like. I got back edits from my project manager last night and I didn't look at it last night because I was just like, I don't want to. Today I'm looking at it, I'm like, I have a lot of work to do, like a lot to study, a lot to work on for this proposal, for this exam. I just honestly have to put myself first, so I guess I'm just gonna have to cancel. You know how when you're put into certain situations, you have like an epiphany about yourself? Well, I had the same epiphany when I canceled this date. I used to think that whenever someone canceled a date on me, it had something to do with me. Like, what did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? What did I text wrong? You know, looking back at this, I canceled this date because I needed to put myself first and I needed to study. So when someone cancels a date on you, don't immediately jump to the assumption that there's something wrong with you. Literally, there could be something going on with the other person. Of course, it'd be great if they communicated that with you. More often than not, most people wouldn't. I did text like my dates like, oh, hey, I'm actually studying for this really major exam. I have to take a step back when it comes to dating. Keep in mind that people are going through their own things. You're not to blame for when someone cancels on you. Another realization through this whole process is I don't think I want a relationship. Me canceling kind of reminds me of a frustration that a lot of people in New York City face, where people are so concerned with their jobs, their careers, they're just like have no time for like a relationship or something serious. I understand that sentiment. People here do put their career first and put their professional life first, which is something I also do. So I am guilty of that, being in that population of people who aren't necessarily looking for something serious, at least at this moment. When I'm stressed, I have very, very strange coping mechanisms. One thing that I do when I'm stressed out is I cut my hair, which explains why my hair is very uneven, but literally I've been hair cutting because I'm stressed. But don't do that, guys, because you'll get uneven hair. This is like not the best coping mechanism. But here we are. And that's not all. It's not just cutting hair. All I've been doing is chain chewing gum and drinking coffee. Healthy? Probably not. Let me show you my trash can, actually. It's disgusting. I don't want to show you, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway. So this is my garbage can in the last month. And let's see how much gum I went through. Yep. This entire garbage can is mainly just gum. Clearly, I am a chain chewer. Hey, there are worse things I could be doing. I don't care how much you love your work, you love school or whatever. I'm sure you have times where you're just like, I'm doing the same thing every single day and you just hate it. You absolutely hate it. Another day of studying. Not a fan. I'm getting sick of this routine, you know, waking up, studying, going to bed. Waking up, studying, going to bed. 10 out of 10 would not recommend doing a PhD. And sometimes you hate it so much you glorify disappearing. Part of me thinks I'm dying on the inside because my tongue has been hurting. This is a sign that I'm aging or dying, who knows. Maybe I'll die before the exam. I'm kidding, of course, but like, who knows? You never know. For anyone who's actually going through this process of taking this major exam, taking their candidacy exam, if there are past exams, go and hunt for them. I have many colleagues who have already taken their candidacy exam. I asked for their copies of their exams, and then I used that when I was forming my presentation and writing my proposal. So this is, for example, one of my colleague friends' presentation. I have that there. Then I have my own thing going here, so then I kind of reference it back and forth. Like if you're doing your exam, if you have a friend or a colleague who's in your same lab who has done it, look at their stuff as a reference, because obviously your project is going to be completely different and your exam is going to be completely different, but just knowing the structure and how they formed like their presentation stuff really helps. You know the phrase practice makes perfect? That applies here. Practice, practice, and practice. And it doesn't matter if you're in school or if you're actually in the real world, having someone who could help look over something before you send it out, it's very helpful. Of course, don't do this every single time, but when it comes to the bigger things, it helps to have a second pair of eyes. In my case, I had my colleagues sit through my mock A exam and just drill me with questions. Just threw questions at me. I'm like, pretend this is my exam. Just throw random questions at me. So I have my mock A exam in less than half an hour. In less than half an hour. I'm practicing right now because I have not practiced at all since I literally just finished the slides maybe 5 minutes ago. So this is gonna be really fun. It really helps to have a monitor connected to your laptop or whatever you're using, just so I have my presenter notes there and my regular slides here, and I'm just going through them and rehearsing them. And also, because this will be done over Zoom, I'm making sure that this is what they see and they don't see this. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be fumbling through slides. I have slides that are hidden. Also, I'm doing a test Zoom right now where I logged onto Zoom on my phone and making sure that this is what they see and they don't see that. Another tip, which is something I did not do, stay organized and on top of your things. If you have something that needs to be submitted, make sure it gets submitted. In my case, I didn't realize I had to submit a form to take the exam. I'm on the verge of throwing myself off the roof because I forgot to submit this form. I had to submit this form a week before I take the exam. It is now a week before my exam. I only just submitted the form, but it requires other signatures from my committee members. So far, 2 people have signed it, but my PI who has to sign it, he's off the grid. He sent an email the other day, I think it was yesterday, let's see. I will be mostly off the grid from Thursday mid-morning to Sunday. And then if urgent, text him. But I don't want to text him or call him because then he's gonna be like, Sam, you're an idiot. I'm like, yes, I am an idiot, but I don't want you to get mad at me. Sam, why are you like this? Don't worry, the form was submitted on time. Let's now jump to 24 hours before my exam. Right now, I'm going through flashcards on Quizlet. So I made different sets of flashcards for questions I know I'm going to be asked or like potentially be asked. In less than 24 hours, I'll be in the exam. Surprisingly, I'm very calm. But I know what I know. If I don't know it, so be it type of attitude. So I know my proposal front and back. Tomorrow morning, who knows what kind of mood I'll be in. I'll probably be frantic. But right now, calm, collected, confident in myself, and we love to see that. My exam is in 2 hours from now. I'm just gonna cram study, go through my presentation a couple more times. I can't believe this is all gonna be over within a couple hours. I realize there's so many things I don't know. This is not a great time for that realization, Sam. I genuinely feel like I'm going to black out. We're gonna try, at least I'm gonna try to like convince myself that it's not nervousness, it's excitement. Something between anxiety and nervousness is similar to the feeling of excitement. I'm just gonna tell myself, I am super excited to take this exam. I'm excited to take this and pass. I'm excited to do well. I might have a little hiccups and I might get nervous in the middle of the exam, but that's fine, because that's normal and that's the nature of taking an exam. But I'm excited to take this and get this over with. Gotta remind yourself it's not the end of the world if you don't pass, Sam. Obviously, I did not record the exam itself. I don't think that's allowed, and I did that just would not be a pretty sight. This exam, you get your results right on the spot. They put me in a breakout room because this exam was done over Zoom. I was just sitting there like, I don't think I passed. Right, so I'm just waiting to get my results. I'm freaking out. I'm really freaking out. I did not do well. I did not do well at all. I stumbled across so many questions and I got railed so easily and I can't breathe and I was blacking out and I don't know what I was thinking and saying. This is very not fun, just sitting in this room wondering whether or not I passed and whether I could proceed with my PhD. I am sweaty, I am clammy, I'm unwell right now. You know when you just replay things in your mind like, oh, I could have said it better? That's happening right now. They're gonna kick me out of the program. I'm not cut out for the PhD. I knew the answers to some of the questions. I actually did. I was just freezing because I was just like, I don't know if it's the right answer and I don't like saying things that aren't right, which I know it's something I have to overcome, but like I have trouble doing that. I have so much trouble saying something, saying my thoughts, saying anything that may possibly be wrong. Why am I so fearful of being wrong? Because you're a perfectionist, Sam. But as you realize from my thumbnail, I did end up passing. Okay, I passed. Oh my god. Oh my god. I really thought I was not gonna pass. I don't know how I feel. I know there's so much I need to work on, but I guess like everyone's just like an ongoing person thing that needs to improve, but wow. I passed. I actually passed. I just don't think I did well. I don't know why I passed. I fudged up so much. I'm so dumb. No, I'm not. Sam, you're smart. I can't believe it. Well, this is good news. I'm still like baffled and surprised that I passed. Does anyone else get this way when they hear good news? Like they just don't know how to react. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, oh, I did it. Okay, now what? I'm officially a PhD candidate. What? So the last month for me was not the easiest, but I made a big milestone in my PhD career journey. I'm halfway done with my PhD, which is crazy to think about. That doesn't mean the work stops here. It's gonna still be hard, and I know that. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing what I went through in the last month. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!